Good morning, everyone. This is Jason with the National Weather Service. We're just going to give you guys a quick update here this morning. There have been some significant changes from the Storm Prediction Center regarding the outlook for the rest of the day and into this evening, so we wanted to share those with you quickly. So this will be short and to the point, but if you look at the graphic here on the right, you can see that the enhanced risk has been put well to the south now, and does still clip our most southern counties, including Crisp, Wilcox, Telfair, Wheeler, and there in the Toombs counties, but it has been shifted quite a bit to the south now from what it was earlier. We have the slight risk that still encompasses now most all of central and north Georgia as well, and then you can see we only have marginal risk now for northeast Georgia. So there have been some changes as far as the placement goes of the enhanced and slight risk, but we want to caution that the impacts from some of these will be largely the same. It's just the aerial extent has been reduced, and so those areas to the south, so really anywhere from LaGrange over to Macon and points southward, and then especially as we get to that last tier of counties, still could see significant tornado, long track tornado for later this afternoon into the evening hours. So although it's good news that the aerial extent's been reduced, we don't want to let our guard down on this one at all. And as you can see from the damaging winds, tornadoes, large hail, and flooding, we really didn't change anything as far as the impacts go. So keep that in mind as we go here through the rest of today. A little bit of the background and the reasoning why here. Here's the latest radar loop, and they're putting out warnings down here in South Alabama with this line that's coming through right here. But you can see it's moving largely due east right now, and so this line's kind of robbing us of some of the energy that's available, and so it's keeping it over the southern parts of Alabama and then stretching into southwest Georgia here. So we do eventually expect the dew points to increase, which would be the energy to fuel these storms and affect the area. Those will be moving into central Georgia later this afternoon, but it's just not going to be able to get as far north as we once thought. So looking at the dew points, we can further see we have like a little wedge sitting here, which is creating dew points in the 40s and then the lower 50s. And then we have to go all the way back here into southern Alabama and Mississippi until we get into the lower 60s and 70s for these dew points. So that's where the really juicy air is, the ones that are conducive for the thunderstorms that would produce the tornadoes. So it's going to take that to get into our area. You can see we even have this dry slot here in southwest Georgia right now. We're going to need this stuff to move into southwest Georgia before we get the severe weather. We do think that's going to occur later this afternoon into this evening, but again, it's just going to be mainly for our southernmost areas that we get this really good air in here that would produce the longer track tornadoes. Taking you through a little bit more of SPC and what they're thinking. Again, this is the severe wind probability. Again, that's been shifted south as well, so that kind of goes for our extreme southern areas, but still, we still have 15% over a large area. That's why we don't want to let our guard down with this one. Even through the metro, I-20 up Dalton, Rome, any of those areas are still in that 15%, which is still pretty good for this time of year. So still could see some significant winds with this system as it comes through. Then I'll take you through, this is the hail probability right here, and so looking at the hail probability is looking at generally the 5%, but there is a 15% that sneaks up into our northwest most zones there. I'm going to pull up really quickly on the fly here, and I'm going to pull up the tornado probability so that I can show you guys that, because that's the latest and greatest that is just coming out. So get that out for you guys, is right here, and there's the tornado probability. So it as well has been shifted to the south. Now we still have this hatched area here which shows significant tornadoes, so this would be your longer track tornadoes, the stronger tornadoes, EF2 or greater. Those are still in play, especially across that southern tier. And so what we're telling people right now is anyone from really this Harris County over to Jefferson and points southward to really watch out for this afternoon, because still looking at an environment where we could get enough of that warm air surging northward to see a tornado formation and even a significant tornado across this area. So again, good news that it's shunted further south and south of I-20. It shifted down here. That's good news. We're going to take that all day long. But again, we don't want to let our guard down either. These areas are still under the gun for this afternoon. So please be careful. Please have your plan ready down here because still could be some rough weather this afternoon into this evening. Looking at one of our model runs here, this is kind of showing the time frame right now, and you can see not all that much activity here. This is really just moderate rain with some embedded thunderstorms, so nothing major. All the heavy stuff is back here over southern Alabama in the Panhandle, and so that's what's caused that shift in the probabilities for us. As we go through the day, we get to early this afternoon. It's still kind of far south, but we do see some enhancement starting here across central Georgia, so we're going to be watching for that as well as we get into this afternoon. And then this is getting into late afternoon into the evening. Here's our actual front coming through here, so some enhancement along there. That's why we have those wind probabilities even up to the metro that are a little bit higher, because we still could get this secondary round here. Here's that other line that's kind of trying to stay south, so we're not letting our guard down, but some of the model runs are keeping this stuff more over South Georgia and the Florida Panhandle right now. But then as we get into this evening, late evening, kind of see the front catching up here, so could be some activity here along this. We're just still going to be watching the central corridor really closely because it's going to be a close call for you guys. So we'll see how it pans out, and we'll keep you guys updated, and we'll send out another one if needed. But certainly good news that the aerial extent is reduced, but we're going to see about the severity of these storms this afternoon. So with that, you guys take care, and we'll have updates coming for you later in the day.